You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. It is time to clean out the email so that starting Monday, it's a clean slate. And I could get to products and projects, get them done. All right. Anonymous writes. He sent me an original request. I said, I forgot what it was, but I don't think I was equipped to answer it. It's all right. How about this one? I'm like, that I can't answer. All right. If you're not too hip on fisking the podcast, how about this subject of which you may have some experience having worked in banking? I do. Possible alternative subject. Beware dating women who work in banks. A friend of mine, aged late 40s, has recently had several women he went to high school with look him up out of the blue and throw tail at him. After some research, one of them worked at a bank where he has an indirect business relationship with this bank, and was talking too much. Hence the increase. So after some research, one of them worked at a bank where she was talking too much. Hence the increased post-wall female attention. He's super beta to boot and won't believe me. I did now. Look him up out of the blue and throw a tail. Okay, all right. One of which is this girl. Only one of which happens to be this girl that works at that bank, a woman. Hence the increased post-wall female attention. He's super beta to boot and won't believe me. I dated a few tellers in the past. All of them talked about who had what money and so on. Teller pillow talk. Well, I can't really fault them for that. I mean, what else are they going to talk about? And they all know, I mean, as long as they don't talk to other people outside the bank. Thank you, sir. You provide a priceless advice to mostly worthless humanity, and our entertaining is all F. Well, thank you. All right. Maybe I'll try. You know what? We're going to try and not curse today. No cursing today. We're just going to, then I can monetize them all, which means they can be shared is the main thing. All right. So the irony, it's kind of like the irony. Everyone thinks I like talking about economics and finance when it's like, no, I really don't. Because I did that for the long. Now I do because I don't do it for a daytime job. But like people like, oh, you want? Oh, what do you think about that? Like, I'm not. I really don't want to talk about work today. Same thing, ballroom dancing. Oh, what about I don't want to talk about dancing either. It's like, can we talk about video games or nerdy, geeky stuff? Just something that isn't what I do already. And in that same vein, even though it's approaching 10 years since I worked in banking, 10 years since I had to answer to any one of you inferior gray-haired bosses. How was the bailout going? Oh, some of you are dead and none of you work in banking anymore because you were all fired. Oh, I think I know one is a realtor. Yay. I'm surprised some aren't in jail. But even back then, 10 years ago plus, so let's say 25 years ago to 10 years ago in the before time, even then you knew not to date at work. It was kind of taboo. Gen X was the vanguard of, and if you remember, Anita Hill started, I think that was 88, 89, maybe 90. Late 80s, very early 90s. And that was where the sexual harassment thing came on board. And all these policies were passed, and Judge Clarence Thomas made it anyway. Look up your history. And so that was already starting like, oh, no, this is work. You don't meet people at work. We're here to work. All right, you're here to work. Wasn't terribly enforced, but even one place I remember one guy I was working with, he demoted himself so he could date this girl that he fell in love with, and they're still married to this day. So it was already beginning in, what would that be? The Clinton years. That was already happening. So I didn't have that much. God, I wonder if I even dated anyone at work. I'm trying to think if I ever did. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't think I did. Well, anyway, so let me go through the types and the different types of gals that I ran into, and which gals generally. And of course, we're generalizing here. I mean, certainly you can make a corporate banker. That's a good, nice, caring woman. Yes, it's funny because it's true. I think in theory, there might be a corporate executive type. It's nice carrying it. But anyway, so here's just kind of the general gals I ran into. All right, first, the executive track, let's just call it. It could be executives, meaning they're not necessarily bankers. They could be bankers themselves with lending authority. We're talking the higher ups. One lady that embodied this to almost a hyper stereotype. Oh, she was power woman. Don't you dare talk to her. And I got this. And like, if you, and she would, you could tell, all she had to talk about was her banking career. Now she worked for one of the larger bank companies out there. They sent her to executive training. She was no doubt a great employee, no doubt. But she was divorced and she hated her ex-husband. And I wouldn't say hated men, but if you ever indicated that maybe she might be wrong, or maybe she should try to be submissive in a romantic capacity, or not serve, but selflessly be kind to him. What do you think? I'm a slave? You think I'm a kitchen bitch? Yeah. Like, okay, all right. Ironically, the one guy that did manage to date her and she chased him to end, it was the most grade a-hole there ever was. He's a bad boy. He had a criminal record. No Microsoft need your effing update. Yeah, and he was mental. He was definitely, he had issues, criminal record, all that other stuff. So you just need to be more alpha or more strong. So go commit some crimes. But generally that type, and I've ran into those types before. They're the executives. If they're not married, so a lot of them were married. And actually, I know one that made a good mother, but she wasn't exactly the go-getter, fangs out, suck the blood out of the U.S. economy type. They just put their career first. And they have great success. They do very well. But you kind of, I hate to, it's kind of Sheryl Sandberg where the career comes first, yourself comes second. Maybe your husband and kids, you flip a coin, who comes in third, and the other entity that got tails comes in fourth. So those are, if you're really strong and a bad boy and you don't take lip, that you can date them, but you don't want to get committed to them in any capacity because you will never outrank their career. So those types, and those, they could be fun. They might be fun on a date, but there's, her Jesus is career, and you will never, whether dating or in a committed romantic relationship. So maybe good for some way, hey in the hay, but you get tired of it. That's all they talk about is their career. That's all they do. It's like, yeah, you got your MBA from wherever, the Booth School. Okay, good for you. Can you make a joke? Can you say something nice? And it doesn't happen. All right. Then there are your tellers. And younger gals, going to be gossipy, cute. Nothing wrong. I mean, you got to start somewhere. And I like the tellers more than I did the bankers, because the tellers are doing honest work. And I'm not necessarily against dating the tellers, because that is real work. Maybe they're on the way up to bigger and better things, or they have a career or profession. So, and certainly there's going to be gossip that's called for. But I wouldn't be against dating tellers. I never did, because in part I think, I'm with that bank. Yeah, all the tellers are kind of old. I worked at small community banks, and all the tellers were old grandma ladies. So, and they did a fine job. But a couple other places where, yeah, I'd have no problem. So, but if they're older, which it sounds like this one, like if you're 20 or 22, you're just starting out, perfectly acceptable to be a teller. 35 is what I presume this gal's age was, or if she went to school with him, he said high school buddy. So she's also 40. It's like, what the hell? What really? 40? Unless like you raised a family and the kids are kind of out and you're just looking for something to do, cool. But sounds like she's single. Maybe she had a family and torpedoed it. I don't know, but it's kind of like, like you're a salonist at 40. Like what the heck? I know lots of girls who make lots of money. Yeah. I'm talking like at, Quick Clips. All right. You're the bag lady at the grocery store. Again, if it's part-time work, cool. But if you have to do that and that's your highest skill set, but I would have no problem with tellers. I think tellers, regardless of age, work a real job, but obviously, really? Oh, God, Jesus. Okay. Hopefully this works. This freaking internet kind of pissing me off. So tellers are fine. You can go ahead, date the tellers. That's all right. And then there are support staff of varying capacities. It could be the HR department, marketing, compliance, federal regulation, the accounting department. But usually there's some operational gals that would be just working in the bowels of the bank, and they're doing filing and faxing and mail and all that other stuff. And those are all, except HR, honest jobs too. And those gals I wouldn't have any problem dating, except again, you're running into kind of the frumpy, not really going anywhere. They're usually 30 plus. So, I mean, if you're 40 and they're okay, fine, maybe, take them out on it. By just so you know, give them a shot. I mean, I wouldn't like, oh, you're a corporate banker. Well, this guy in the internet said not to date you because you're a commercial lender. No, go out. These aren't universal rules. Generally frumpy, and you wouldn't be asking them out anyway because they're not that attractive. Then there's the secretaries. That's where I did ask one girl out. We didn't go out. But allow me to tell you a story, assuming the internet doesn't barf out on me again. There was a gal. I was single. I was kind of like the all-star analyst. I was like the senior analyst, made good money. People knew it. Oh, he's in here. Look at him go. And, I was in shape. And, he teaches ballroom dance. And, and it was a smaller company. And this cute gal worked in a different division within the banking company. She was cute. I remember she was cute. And it depended on the season. It was a once-a-year thing, but there would be wiener dog races in town. If you don't know what wiener dog races are, look it up. Little wiener dogs, they have wiener dog races, and they have hurdles, and they have jumping on recliners, and it's actually quite a big event over in the Twin Cities where the different wiener dog owners put on like capes. They make very extravagant capes for the wiener dogs, with the wiener dog's name, and they race, and it's very funny. And I'm thinking like, this is the easiest date. This is the easiest in ever. And I remember asking, I say, hey, you want to go to the wiener dog races? And like, how innocent? That's like fun church. Hey, do you want to go to fun church? What's that? It's like church, but it's fun. It's very innocent, but it's all, you could not get any more wholesome and fun. And she said, well, let me think about it. And I didn't hear back from her. And I came back after that week. And I'm like, you missed the wiener dog race. It's like, oh yeah, I got busy. And that's more, I get what do you want to call it? Hypergamy, maybe not solipsism, but I guess I wasn't good enough. Maybe I wasn't tall enough, whatever. Come to find out later on, she was a meth addict. I was younger. And I was just like, but I I guess they're all fair game. As long as you're not working there. I wouldn't, preclude women that work in banking if she's cute and you enjoy her company for a little bit of the chit chat. Oh, you're a credit analyst. I care. A credit analysts are the best, most smart, intelligent employees of all banks ever. You should totally go out with those girls. All three of them that exist in the nation, maybe. But yeah, there's not. I wish like if you said teachers, social workers, HR, yeah, that's like fishing in a sewer. All right. While getting shot at and a meteorite shower's coming in and the meteorites coming down are this big. They're not getting eaten up by the earth. That's danger, Will Robinson. But banking in general, just keep an eye out. Some of the lower ranked employees, if they're elder, do they got hustle? The younger ones, entry level, nothing wrong with that. And a lot of tellers go on to become junior bankers, and then go commercial. So I wouldn't poo-poo them. The gals working in the trenches, they're fine if you can find a cute one. And then the secretaries, like all secretaries, they're meant to be a pretty face. Don't expect it. And maybe they're on meth. I don't know. So there you go. All right, let's go through the super chats real quick. Sam Whiskey, can of Pepsi, anyone? Why? Where do you see that? Can of Pepsi. I got coffee back here. Where do you see the Pepsi? Fred Freeman. Oh my God, Fred, you found your wallet, man. What's going on, man? $5. I went out with a wealth manager girl at Goldman to 2 country music bars and had a great time. She, like me, was the rare Chicago conservative. Win. Well, what happened to her, Fred? Why don't you hang on to her? I'll say that one thing about bankers is they tend to be not Marxists, okay, because they have to deal with tax returns and finances. Now, they may ignore it. Well, he's got a credit score of 390. You can have a credit score in the 300s. And yes, my bank did approve that guy for that loan. Guess where they're both now? But yeah, that's another good thing I could say generally about the banking industry. Sam Whiskey, $2. Cappy dated a relationship banker. That's good. That's good. I'm a relationship banker. Fred Freeman saw Fred, what happened? Did you hit your head on something? What's going on? $5. My date last weekend works at 5-3 Bank, pretty and from China, but she kept wearing the mask around everywhere, seemed paranoid, food, arcade, car ride. Fun. Good. That like old school arcade game. Scott McInthune. Scott, are you related to the McInthunes out in St. Bonnie, Minnesota? Great butcher out there. For $5, we do a Clary test on a millennial to see how much of a millennial they are on the Clary scale. Well, I don't have a millennial test. That would have to, I could do a Clary test to tell you if I want to have a beer with you or that millennial and whether they should run for office. But I don't have a millennial test. I could come up with one. And we could have a lot of fun lampooning people, including oneself if they're looking for constructive criticism. But yeah, if so, I will submit the asshole consulting request. I'll do a Clary test on millennial. Yeah, but it won't be a millennial test. Maybe we'll have to come up with that, a millennial test. Do you live at home? Do you have student loans? Do you have a worthless degree? I mean, I could just roll with it. Do you demand other people bail you out? Do you think, well, I make more collecting stimmy checks? Do you vote to increase your stimmy checks? Are you under rent moratorium? Did you ever groom your beard? Have you never set foot inside a gym? Did you dye your hair a weird color? Do you have unconventional piercings? Do you contribute anything productive to society except the advocation of stealing other people's money for socialist causes? That would be interesting. I don't like that. You're right. 2 or 3 of them aren't. Now let's scroll up. Whoa. We got a lot here. Hang on. Oh, by the way, I am in the Twin Cities, and I can get myself some Poke Bowl. Cap, it can get Poke Bowl. All right. Zach Capone, $2. Can you do a house tour? We'd love to see it. No, but one, this is the old apartment in Minneapolis or Twin Cities. Atham, look it up. Of which I have moved out. I'm keeping this place here for other reasons. Cappy, what's going on? None of your fucking beeswax. No, so there will be no house tour. I like to keep quiet to myself. I don't know. I'm trying. I wouldn't mind showing you a couple things, but no, I won't be doing a house tour. And it really is not that big. It'd be a very short house tour. Christopher Bell, what a great man, a patriot and an American, a gentleman and a scholar. For 20 generous dollars, which will buy me a luxury poke bowl with a little bit of money left over for a Zevia. Cappy, thanks for the stream. One thing worth mentioning is you got suckered into a worthless major. You can always go the sales route at a place where your upside is uncapped. My wife did this and makes great money. Yeah, but you need a skill. There, I absolutely believe. And don't ever take a Myers-Briggs test. Just try selling. Some people are natural salesmen. Some they just got it. And it's good to see your wife is one of them. That's great. Some people just got it. And you know what? Almost everyone should take their crack at sales because it will develop people skills. You'll face rejection. You'll endure rejection. You'll get over rejection. You'll build a little tough skin. You'll learn how to sell because that's a good skill to have no matter where you go. Not necessarily selling a product, but selling yourself to a potential employer, a potential client. But man, yeah, if you can be a rainmaker, absolutely. I got a relative does not have a college degree, and I really look up to her. She's one of the few people I look up to, period. And she didn't get a degree, and she's an executive, and she makes great money, and it's sales, and that she just had that personality, and everyone sit down. She worked really hard. Oh, said every millennial. We gotta stop picking on the millennials because now it's the Zoomers. The millennials are like so 2015. Yeah, so I'm not against people becoming a salesman. It's salesperson. No, it isn't. It's salesman because the men implied both genders for the longest of time, and you're just doing it for political reasons and to feel good. Pod, a buck. Opinion on David Foster Wallace. Pay me $30. I'll do a clarity test on him. I don't know who he is. I want to kill the person who's responsible for these outages. Just making it official. I want to find the person at the internet company who did not do their job and kill him. Notice I said him. That could imply both male and female because, we only look at sales person. But then when it comes to, somebody decided to urinate over the server equipment at MediaCom, I want that person, male or female, dead. We'll get to Foster Wallace. If I missed some super chats, I'll go through it again. Fred Freeman saw $2. Do you like hookah? I used to do it in high school. No, I'm not against it, but I didn't find it relaxing or anything. It's kind of like, hey, dude, let's go do a hookah lounge. New Zealand, channel 1800 dumb. $3 New Zealand for a super sticker. I don't know what. Tell your redheaded sister I say hello. Fred Freeman saw $2. Kodo Wookham's redhead chose Vlad, not you, because Vlad has an MBA. It is exactly because that. I'll tell you why, and I love Chad. This is why she picked him. He was a doormat. He was a beta, not beta. He was blue-pilled. He was the nice guy. And as you've noticed, Chad is no longer the nice guy. He makes a lot of money, and he's kind of an international playboy. He flies around and has sex with women. So, good for Chad. Chad is a success story, but he had money, and he would tolerate her crap. That's what he would do. No more. Alex Patino, the truck driving Latino agent in the field, for $5. Keep buying ammo and firearms. Ammo can be used for bartering. Yeah, I found a place in South Dakota that sells ammo. And it's reasonably affordable too. But that's coming down. Ammo prices are kind of coming down, so that's a good thing. Fred Freeman, solid $2. As a millennial, please keep picking on us. Deserved. It's not the millennials per se. It's stupid people, but some people have higher percentages than others. And instead of me picking out the individual ones, I like to lump them like, hey, you're a bunch of millennials. Because that even agitates them more. The excuse now is we didn't know any better. Our parents misled us. And I was like, yes, they did. Like 20 years ago, when do you make the change and realize your parents were lying to you and say, oh, well, I better try my best. No, you go like, give us money. I think the reason most people have a disdain for the millennials is they are the most pompous know-it-all generation ever. Like you were going to solve the world's problems and you knew better. And in part because your parents never spanked you or told you no and never said, no, you're actually a dumb shit. You're majoring in art history? What the hell is wrong with you? What did I raise? Slowly they're waking up. They're not the center of the universe. Slowly they're realizing they're no different than the boomer parents they hate. Yeah, the internet in Eastern Europe is super fast. I would not have to deal with that. Come on. Just got to scroll through. There will be more podcasts, or not podcasts, but YouTube channels coming up. Alex Patino, $5. South Dakota retards messed your internet connection. No, I'm in Minneapolis. Cause the really smart people have left. Such is the reality. Boy, you might be more right than you know, Alex. The smart people are off doing managerial high-level stuff, but that doesn't mean the entry-level or medium-level jobs are unimportant. They do need to be done correctly. Otherwise, the whole system doesn't work. And I would not doubt it. It's because somebody who has the ability and the skill is a lazy younger person who does, doing basic nighttime internet work on a Sunday is beneath me. Alex, why don't we get more of your Mexican buddies in here? You guys seem to like to do work. $16, you say? Hello. I mean, do some light engineering, light manufacturing, slight, tradesmen, obviously. Mexicans are prominent in that community. How about IT? Because we got a bunch of spoiled thumb suckers over here like, no, I have a master's degree in social work, and it's just not worth my intellect to learn how to do Windows. I'm going to collect government check. I'm going to write a children's book. No, seriously, it's I'm against illegal immigration. I'm against immigration, kind of like wages to go. But if you look at the native population of the United States, most of them are spoiled brats who don't want to work. And meanwhile, we got other people from other countries that are like, dude, we'll work. What? You got roads and electricity and there's reasonable law and order. We'll come work. It's like, well, what we got to do is got to kick the kids out there going, I have a master's degree. I have an MBA from the Carlson School of Management. And it's just beneath me. It's like, like Guatemalan, come here. Yeah, you know how to do engineering? You come here. You go to whatever the town is in Guatemala. You go live in the huts. Have fun with your MBA from the Carlson School of Management. Luke Cartwright. Damn it, Clay. Hey, it's not me, Luke. It's not me. I'll tell you this. I screw up, but it's very rare. It's other people. Channel 1800 Dumb. 10 New Zealand dollars. They're incompetent, Cappy. If you don't want to date my sister, I'll turn gahay for you. No, I don't know. No. You make a good mob boss. I want them all dead. Good movie last night. Mom and Dad. The War with Grandpa. Is that a movie? I saw the kids at the house. We're all watching multiple different movies. They can't watch one, and that's why internet was going in and out at the house. And there was this movie called The Wishing Dragon, which was a play on Aladdin. Way better than Aladdin. Like, the dragon was like me. It's pretty red pill, actually. The dragon is just like, he's got a little kid. I think it takes place in Hong Kong. He's like, look, kid, you got everything you want, and you're wishing for a friend? What's wrong with you? Friends suck. Like, I gotta watch this later. Okay, yeah, this guy's gone. That guy's gone. Fred saw a Midsommar movie. Ashamed to be Swedish now. I didn't know. I don't watch those the teenage horror flicks. No, I don't watch that. No. I'm already ashamed to be Scandinavian. Like, if they were still like Vikings, I'd be like, oh, okay, found out I'm 60% Scandinavian. Again, no. When I used to think I was Irish, and now I'm not Irish. I got the Jewish thing, which still has a little bit of culture, and Spaniard, which has culture, but they're kind of a mañana, bail us out Euro in Brussels. And then just a modge podge of other different things. George Pumphrey, 20 generous Canadian dollars. I have a problem with parasites of any generation, and parasites are running everything right now until the collapse. Then it's over for them. I'm enjoying the decline. I am too. I met with Doc Perodin today. Him and I had a nice long breakfast. We had a good conversation about letting the parasites just like let them live their life. And I'll write about it. But I had an event happen to me that was very telling. I was kind of like, oh, let's put it the left can get everything it wants. They will never be happy. They will never be happy because they're basically trying to get bailouts of themselves. They're trying to bail themselves out. I mean, financially, they have a crippling character and personal flaw that they are always trying to get other people to bail them out of. And you could get bailed out, however, temporarily, but that flaw will never go away. And that's why they're miserable. And I kind of opened up my eyes. There was an event at a gas station. I'll write about it one of these days when I get time. Fred, for $5 again. Fred who paid $50,000 to learn game, 0 lays, visited this weekend. 5'9", 185 pounds. You are fat, you are ugly, how about that? No girl can lift up your gut to access your penis. and stiff and tense. He is wasting money. I gave him his therapist link set. Well, have him read Bachelor Pad Economics. Alex giving us $10 of his children's college fund. We're always happy to take your kids' college fund money here over at Asshole Consulting. I'm sure you know that all Latinos who have skills tend to stay in their countries, and usually the poor hard workers immigrate to do hard labor but end up neglecting their kids to join MS. Really? Are you sure? Because I've ran into some skilled Latinos, like plumbers, roofers. Oh, roofers. It is. It's a skill. What? You're going to get Tanner, the F-wit wonder boy with his master's degree in social work to dirty his hands? I'm not saying they're nuclear physicists, but I kind of look, I'm like, why? Okay, so then how do we swap them out and get the high-level engineers over here? How do we get the Athams over here? Nobody likes Atham. Nobody wants Atham here. Oh, God, Atham's here. Oh. Channel 1800 dumb, $5 New Zealand dollars. These trolls are all idiots. Well, what are the trolls? Do I have to go through the trolls? Is there? I banned 2 people. Yeah, I'll block that. There we go. I guess we should block all that. Just bear with me, guys. Hey, Matt Forney in the house. Matt's down. I don't know if people want to know where he lives. Here in this great Georgia, mediocre in Armenia. I wish Matt had his podcast back. Just bear with me, guys. I want to make sure. There's nothing that's much better than authentic Irish sweater. Boom. All right. I think we're caught up. Let's get back to the remaining super chats, and then we'll go to another request. MS13. Juan Mraz, $5. Doesn't say anything. Thanks, Juan. We appreciate the comments, or the dollars, or the money. And Fred for $2. I re-listened to How to Get the Girls Part 7 by you. Is there a Part 7? Yeah, I think in time what's all the people are like being genuinely Istanism, and just not. And it's not even that. People, free speech. Say whatever you want. Waste your time. But the problem is, if I get like 20 of them, it bumps down the super chats that I got. Then we lose. We don't lose the super chats, but I lose the super chats because the scroll only goes so far back. Then I got to go back to the archive, load it up, which Google's archive doesn't work now, and so it's just like I'll delete it. You don't even have to say something stupid or against policy or whatever. If you're like flabbing your gums and bumping crap down, instead of like putting one post of a paragraph, but you do every sentence, like, yeah, you'll get temporary timeout. So, men's coaches prey on insecurities, it seems sad. Yeah, well, then they should. I mean, ethically, morally, should you do that? No. You say, look, kid, here's how it works. But look, and here's the other thing. Your buddy's 185 and 5'9". What is he? He's lazy. He's looking for the lazy way out. Those people should pay an arm and a leg. You want to pay for lies? Fine. You're going to pay the price for lies. That could be $50,000. But it's the main price you pay is wasting your time and whatever money you do spend on it and having no success. Professors make off with at least $300 billion a year of dumb, naive young kids' money. Do we go after them? No. We applaud. You got a degree, yay! You went and hired a dating coach. Oh. Taylor Welch, $5. Would an economics degree have any benefit for an entrepreneur, assuming you were forced to go to college? No. The only degree, and what do you mean you're being forced? Do you live at home with mommy? But I live at home with mommy and daddy, and I have to do what they say. Oh, I guess you got to go to college then. The only degree you should get if you're considering being an entrepreneur, oh, and by the way, I don't know what your business idea is. You might want to start with that. In the meantime, you got to get a job. And the best degree for entrepreneurship is accounting. So you know how to do your books and you know how to calculate the return on a possible investment. Going to college for entrepreneurship. I know your parents are forcing you to go there, but you're not getting a job and moving out of the house. You live at home. You're their bitch. Welcome to America and consequences. Oh, Alex again, $10. Geez, Alex, your kid's going to have no money for school. An army buddy who is from Venezuela has family in Spain. A cousin of him told him that a lot of Spaniards go to work in the morning, leave at noon for siesta, return at 4 p.m. and complain about not having money. Yeah, if you, now this goes way back, this goes to Bush days when I used to do real economics. If you looked at labor force participation rates of Europeans in general, but especially Mediterranean coastal countries, not on the Mediterranean, not the United Kingdom, although they're lazy too. Yeah, there was that Mediterranean Latin culture of manana. So Italy had that problem. Spain had the problem. One of the major impediments to their birth rates going up was that young men, like in their 30s, would live at home with mom well into their 30s, and you can't make it with the way, hey, when mom's next door. You know, so that's, yeah, that's very common. Spain, Italy. Fred Freeman saw $2. We went to the beach. His gut embarrassed me to be with him. Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Why can't he find the girls? Mexi Mike, $10. Cappy. Andrew Henderson, even George Gammon seem to all be triangulating same sentiment of moving to recently ex-socialist countries like Montenegro, Croatia, Mediterranean, ISH. Still have it fresh in their mind. Yeah. That's the next major project. Imagine if talented people didn't have to worry about moving overseas and that the laws of their native country would protect their labor and their income and their assets and the property so that they wouldn't have to worry about it. And instead of spending time moving places, they'd build new businesses or just create more GDP. I wonder what the GDP of a country full of single moms would look like. I wonder what would that be? Sociology degrees in teaching, I guess. Channel gives me a 1800 dumb. $5 New Zealand, a super sticker. I don't know what it is. Will Dog Jones, $2. See you, Cappy. Adams Family is on. Oh, TV show or movie? Catman, $8 Australian. Any thoughts on the West becoming a neo-feudalist society? Capitalism for the rich, communism for the poor scenario? No, I wouldn't say that would just be monarchy, feudalism. That's what it would be, is feudalism. We don't have capitalism here, and capitalism for the rich under a feudalist society would rely on quasi-slavery, because that's what feudalism is. You'd be a serf. Communism for the poor, yes. It would effectively become that, but I wouldn't say capitalism for the rich. I would just say feudalism. There's an upper monarchy type of class. There's a royalty, and then there's the plebes and the plebs, and they work and slave away and buy their Nike shoes because a guy with a bad haircut out of Whitefish Bay said to. Look it up. But yeah, government housing, government jobs, government food, and slowly but surely your productive members will leave or just not produce. But it's heading that way. Yeah, it's heading that way. Mexi Mike, $5. Fred's Croatia shift is right in line with all of you, and I'm thinking of going to mimic other intelligent, productive men like you all. Well, wait till we get reports back from the field. We got to go over there. We got to get boots on the ground. Pants on the ground. George again for 10 Canadian dollars. This TFM, Turd Flinging Monkey, you can find him on BitChute, says, people will not learn until the stupidity is starved out. Yeah, no, it's as long as you got the internet and TV keeping dopey people's mind occupied with the latest whatever going on, they're not going to sit and think about, where does the food come from? Why is the electricity off? And you got about 3 days without water or food to figure that out. Like, oh, how does it work again? How do we restart the society? Ask Zimbabweans, they know. Oh, all those people doing the work were making the food. Oh. Based homeschool mom, I have a book coming out in November called Occult Feminism, The Secret History of Women's Liberation. Thanks to your advice and encouragement. I'm sending you a copy of review. Repeal the 19. Wow. A gal that, well, okay. Well, you can speak about it. We can't say that. Hang on. Don't, before you send me the book, okay, please. Can you put it in an audiobook? I'm not against listening to books, especially if it's coming from a gal who had the intellectual temerity to break free of indoctrination. All right. So I'm all for it. But can it be an audiobook so I don't have to sit and read? I can listen to it. And I used to have a guy I'd recommend to do all audio work. Oh, you know what? Wait. Jack Napier. Have Jack Napier read your book. Have him if you want, email me at assholeconsulting.com. I will put you in contact with Jack. He could be your audio-based guy. All right, are we caught up? I think we're caught up. Boom! Oh, yes, I am having a record. Good. Just let me know when it's out. Email me when it's out, which usually going to take a month later after you do paperback and Kindle. Oh, and by the way, related, the Better Bachelor edition of the Book of Numbers is coming out, where Joker has written a forward to the Book of Numbers. That's coming out soon. We are waiting on Rollo to finish the updated cover. I'm very curious to see what he has there. Fred, $2. Cappy didn't get an MBA. Reasons would not read books. No, hey, watch Weltgeist, Arthur Schopenhauer. Why you shouldn't read. That's a good. That's it. Yeah. I was smart not reading, man. Smart not reading. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.